Look at, for example, the employment numbers.
It was during COVID, and employment was so high because we shut down the government, we shut down the country.
Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs by most people's estimates, at least 200,000. He lost manufacturing plants, ask the auto workers.
It seems like, hey, we agreed that this is going to be the lie that we're going to go with. Why are you not working with the lie, sister? Oh, my bad. This is tariffs.
Tariffs aren't unique to President Trump. President Biden has tariffs in place. He's actually looking to potentially implement more. Where do you come out on? Is there a good tariff, a bad tariff?
Well, part of it is you don't just throw around the idea of just tariffs across the board, and that's part of the problem with Donald Trump. Frankly, I'm going to, and I say this in all sincerity, he's just not very serious about how he thinks about some of these issues.
Hold on, I'm trying to understand what you're saying here. There are tariffs that we have right now under her administration, under the Biden-Harris administration. There are tariffs that there are tariffs that Trump put into place that they never got rid of. So they're working, right? But you're still using them, right? I don't understand what you're saying. He's unserious for doing the same thing that you're doing. In fact, you're doing what he did. You kept in place what he did. But when he did it, he was unserious. But you're really serious. And you should be taken seriously. It's just a bunch of Washington speak, bunch of political nonsense, man. It don't make sense, John.
Unique to President Trump. President Biden has tariffs in place. He's actually looking to potentially implement more. Where do you come out on? Is there a good tariff?
See, Biden has tariffs in place. He wants to put in more tariffs. And now Kamala's going to jump over Biden and take a swipe at Trump for his tariffs. When she just said Biden has tariffs in place. He wants to implement more tariffs. Biden wants to do exactly what Trump is doing. But it's only bad if Trump does it. It's not bad if Biden does it. And remember, if Biden does it, she's doing it. Because they're a team. So, like, it's a lot of this, man. It's a lot of disingenuous nonsense, folks. Here we go. We're going to have Kamala talking about taxes because she keeps talking about a lot of her economy plan, her opportunity economy is taxes. She wants to do something with taxes. Her big idea is we're going to tax the rich. Okay. I've been hearing this since Bernie was running. Let's hear her talk about taxing the rich.
Ending that child tax credit, or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations...
I don't think that's how it works. You don't have to do anything. You know what everybody's been telling me? So... are you going to use some type of executive order to raise taxes? Is that what you're saying? Because you just said, what if Congress won't let you do that? What if you got a Republican Congress? Then what do you do? And she says, well, they got to let us do it. You could tell that Kamala just wasn't prepped as to what to say. She doesn't really know these things. She knows what she was told to say when certain things were said. That's what she knows. And anything beyond that, she's lost. She's a deer in headlights. She looks like Bambi right now. She looks like, you could tell she's like, we're friends, right, Steph? Don't go asking. Come on now. Come on, Steph. Come on, Steffi. Come on, Steph now. Come on, girl. Don't go asking. Come on now. Come on. It's me, baby. It's me. It's Kamala. Come on now. It's Cam. Come on now. Don't go asking stuff that, you know. I mean, you can ask stuff, but don't ask stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't be asking stuff that, you know. No, I don't know. You know I don't know this shit. Why are you asking stuff? All right, that's enough. You asking, come on now, Cam. Steph, come on. Come on now. Let's be serious now. Orange man bad. Come on, say it with me. Orange man bad. Oh, you just gonna ask me stuff anyway. I thought y'all talked to her. Did you talk to her? No one talked to you? No one? No, nothing? I'm on camera. You gonna put this in? You can just edit this part out, right? Folks, it's obvious that Kamala doesn't know this stuff. Hey, I get it, man. There's things I don't know. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I don't know. Oh, you can fill this room up with stuff I don't know. But fortunately, I do know how to be a commentator. I know how to be a political commentator, and I have 13 years experience, and I've been doing it live in front of the world with 50 million views. Okay? Just on this one, I've got another 20 million on TikTok, another 10 million on Instagram. We don't know how many million on Twitter. So I've been doing this for a long time. That I know. I know my thing. She don't know her thing. Okay? And there's evidence in this clip. And I don't care who steps up to talk, who tries to shame us, who wants to shame us. It doesn't change when Stephanie Ruhle says, hey, you got big plans, baby. And I feel you on the big plans. But what if there's a glitch in your plan? What do? Instead of having a backup plan, she goes, nah, man, plan's got to work. It's got to work. Yeah.
Handing that child tax credit, or you mentioned housing before, giving that extra money for a first home. If you can't raise corporate taxes, or if GOP takes control of the Senate, where do you get the money to do that? Do you still go forward with those plans and borrow?
Well, but we're going to have to raise corporate taxes, and we're going to have to make sure that the biggest corporations and billionaires pay their fair share. That's just it. It's about paying their fair share.
Oh, so now you're going to make them do it because they just should do it, huh? Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's because they should do it. Yeah, they should do it, so they'll do it because they got to do it because they should do it. They just got to pay their fair share. It's what they got to do. It's got to do it. That's not in the that's not in my ebook about how presidents get things done. No president got people to do stuff by saying they should do it. That's not in the list of 10 things I've got. You know, there's bully pulpit, there's executive order, there are sanctions, there's these things, right? But none of the things are, they should just do it because they should do it. Because they got to do it. Nah, it's got to be LBJ was real good at quid pro quo. You do this, I do this. If you do this, I do this. But if you do this, I'll do this. Like, there are things they did. Presidents have done things to get things done over time. Stephanie's saying, what if you try to do this and there's no way to get it through Congress? What do? She says, they got to do it anyway. Are you threatening them? I'm not even against her threatening them. Are you threatening them? Are you saying if they don't do it, they're going to have to deal with you? That would be that's not optimal, but that's something. Sounds a little Trumpian. And we know Orange Man bad, but at least then you're being honest. Instead of saying it's magic. See, the magic stuff bothers me because I come from a group of people where magic just ain't been working. And you might not know this, but you come from a group of people where magic ain't working for your ass either. Here, Kamala's going to lie on Trump about manufacturing jobs.
Aren't unique to President Trump. President Biden has tariffs in place. He's actually looking to potentially implement more. Where do you come out on? Is there a good tariff, a bad tariff?
Well, part of it is you don't just throw around the idea of just tariffs across the board, and that's part of the problem with Donald Trump. Frankly, and I say this in all sincerity, he's just not very serious about how he thinks about some of these issues. And one must be serious.
It shows that most likely voters still think Donald Trump is better to handle the economy. Why do you think that is?
Well, here's what I know in terms of the facts. Donald Trump left us with the worst economy since the Great Depression when you look at, for example, the employment numbers.
It was during COVID, and employment was so high because we shut down the government, we shut down the country.
Yeah, see, this is what a lie is. And they let her tell this lie during the ABC debates. Yeah, they let her tell this lie and no one corrected her. They let her just go with the lie. This is not true.
Numbers.
It was during COVID, and employment was so high because we shut down the government, we shut down the country.
Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs by most people's estimates, at least 200,000. He lost
See how she got real stern, like she was talking to a child? Listen, guys.
manufacturing plants. Ask the auto workers.
She's talking like she's convincing them of something. It's just not true. Here goes the truth, man. This grid here, this shows manufacturing jobs in America. And this shows how we did with the manufacturing jobs, okay? This drop-off here, this major drop-off is under Bush. That right there, that's Bush. 2000 to 2003, all the way down to Obama. See where Obama started? Okay? 2008, Obama starts. 2009, it's still dropping. That's the drop of the boom, the real estate. And then comes Trump. See how it goes up? And then comes COVID. See? Trump, COVID. Drop. Now look at all of the gains that Biden had. Guess where they got them back to? Where Trump is. And then it's flatlined. Right where it was, where Trump was. All Biden did was get us back to Trumpville. I'm not saying that's bad. I'm saying that's what happened. But to say, hey, Trump did this, when you can see very clearly it was the pandemic, the major drop-off, guys, was Bush. And yes, give credit where it's due. Obama, he had 8 years, and you saw what Obama did here. You see what Obama did. So I'm just tired of, it's like a bunch of lies. It's like a bunch of lies and gaslighting. Right? A bunch of lies and gaslighting, guys. Right? This is Obama. Obama hit this. This is it. Boom. Obama comes in. Obama did some heavy lifting. Trump improved on what Obama did. Trump improved on Obama's numbers. People won't give him credit for it. It's not about it's not about liking them. It's about the truth. Okay? It's what it is. All right. So now that we know that Kamala's lying, and Stephanie, I don't know why Stephanie punked out.
Shows that most likely voters still think Donald Trump is better to handle the economy. Why do you think that is?
Well, here's what I know in terms of the facts. Donald Trump left us with the worst economy since the Great Depression when you look at, for example, the employment numbers.
I'm sorry, guys. I just want to see about the Great Depression. 1945. I see those numbers. But that wasn't him. That was the pandemic. And if you really look, it looks like Obama had Great Depression numbers. Because it was another market, the bottom fell out the market with the housing crisis, right? So we got the housing crisis right here with Obama. That says 2010, right? You see that drop off? That's under Obama. Then the next drop off is that 2020 with pandemic. The drop off of Obama wasn't Obama's fault, and the pandemic was not Trump's fault. And it's right there, and it's clear. In this face right here, I'm sorry, guys. Well, I'm not sorry, but I'll say this. This
During
face
COVID,
right here,
and employment was so high.
this is the face of a liar. That right there, that's a liar. Right there, Johnson.
Look at, for example, the employment numbers.
It was during COVID, and employment was so high because we shut down the government, we shut down the country.
Even before the pandemic, he lost manufacturing jobs by most people's estimates, at least 200,000. He lost manufacturing plants, ask the auto workers.
It seems like, hey, we agreed that this is going to be the lie that we're going to go with. Why are you not working with the lies, sister? Stephanie, we already said we were going to lie about this. You got the memo. The other person called you and we already arranged this. This is what we're going with. Why are you trying to be a journalist all of a sudden? We had this conversation. I'm speaking. And this is the way it is. This is how it is now. You can get on board, or you can have a little accident. You got a nice job. Would you like to keep it? I can't hear you. I don't know, guys. Maybe you're seeing it a different way. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. She's talking about Trump being a bully. She seems like more of a bully than me. And I just showed you the manufacturing jobs. The numbers don't lie. Please fact check that if you want to. Feel free. The numbers is the numbers. The 2008 drop in housing, that crash. Obama, he got hit with a mess. He dug us out. He had 8 years to do so. Trump built on what Obama did, and then he got hit with a mess. And that's what it is, a pandemic. All right, guys. Now, part of this whole thing with Kamala Harris, and I'm looking at all this stuff, and I'm wondering, like, hey, how can I better... See, part of what Kamala's idea, the plan is, which I don't understand, I guess, is to just push through and to lie or to gaslight and distract when people start bringing up the current administration, which I don't understand. Why can't Kamala just say, hey, man, look, Biden did this shit. It wasn't me. Why come she can't be shabby and say it wasn't me? But instead of trying to go back in time, I don't think people are buying the back in time being Trump's fault. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people are buying it. I think people, and look, if she loses, which I truly believe she's going to lose. I do. Because I believe Trump underperforms in these polls. I think a lot of these polls that you're looking at were national average polls. They weren't looking at the Electoral College. And yeah, there's a lot more people that live in California that are going to vote for Kamala. They're almost programmed to do so. But things are way too close in these battleground states for Kamala's liking. She'd have a much stronger chance to win if she just blame Biden. Because people aren't stupid. Well, some people are stupid, but not everybody. Not enough people are dumb enough to think, hey, prices have been up for the last 3 years. Let's blame Trump. Like, people are going to blame who's there. When I come into a room and something's broke, and my two youngest granddaughters are in the room, sometimes they'll make up a story, particularly the older one, because she talks better. She's 5. I say, hey, who broke that? Sometimes Lala will say, Chase did it. Really, she did it a lot when she was like 3 and 4. She's getting a little bit better now. She'll say Chase did it. Now, Chase won't even be in the room. Sometimes Chase wouldn't even be home from school yet. But somehow Chase did it. Now, he lives here with us, but he wasn't here to do it. At the time, he's not in the room, and the pot is broke. The 2-year-old, Nadia, Moo Moo will look at us. Pop, 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 pop. Chase. They're both blaming Chase, but Chase wasn't there. I'm the American people in this situation. And I'm looking at the broken pot, and I use my deductive reasoning, and I say, hey, if Chase is in here, and they're the only two people in the room, I got a strong feeling they did it. But see, thanks to corporate media, they have been selling this lie. And I don't know, man. They also got some people. They got D.L. Hughley, they got Roland, they got Angela Rye and Jasmine Crockett and all these people running on Bakari Sellers, all these shills. Freaking shills. Annoying Nat people. Shilling for the Democrats. Running around, blaming Orange Man Bad. And in this case, Orange Man Bad is my son Chase. My youngest son. He ain't even in the room now. Not saying he's never been in the room, but he wasn't there that day. So some Americans are at least as bright as me, walking in a room and finding a broken pot and looking at those two cute faces. And yes, Lala has joy. And Nadia has joy and inspiration. But they also tell fibs. Big ass whoppers. And that's exactly what Kamala Harris and now Tim Walz are doing. Nadia wanted to save herself and tell me a story that was more believable, that made sense. She look at me, pop, 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 pop. And she tell the truth. Joe Biden did it. My big sis Lala did it. So I don't think all of America's that dumb that they're going to buy this story, man.